The U.S. envoy to Yemen, Tim King, blamed the Houthi militia for obstructing the extension of the UN truce in the country. King urged the Houthis to show more flexibility towards efforts to extend the truce, which could be the stepping stone to a permanent peace in Yemen. The following report gives more details.
Yemen's warring parties failed to reach an agreement on Sunday to prolong the country's 6-month-long ceasefire, threatening to rekindle the country's horrific civil war. The U.S. envoy to Yemen, Tim King, blamed the recent failure to prolong the country's truce agreement on rebel Houthi leaders, accusing them of making last-minute maximalist demands that disrupted constructive discussions. During a press briefing, U.S. Special Envoy to Yemen said the Houthis hijacked the discussions by abruptly demanding that their military and security forces be paid before Yemeni government employees. King provided no additional explanation for the failure of the discussions. The devastation began in 2014 when the Iranian-backed Houthi troops captured Sana'a and parts of northern Yemen, forcing the government into exile. Following the expiration of the ceasefire deadline, sporadic exchanges of fire were reported in the western governorate of Al-Dala, as both sides deployed military reinforcements in the frontline cities of Ma'rib and Taiz. According to Houthi officials, the main impediment to discussions was the UN's refusal to offer written guarantees for some of the group's demands. The demands including the payment of staff wages as well as the reopening of Sana'a airport and the Houthi-held port of Hodeidah. The initial terms of the April truce called for the partial reopening of the capital's airport and the Red Sea port of Hodeidah, as well as the removal of the Houthi blockade on Taiz, the country's third biggest city. However, conflicts over the opening and control of Taiz's main access roads have kept the city under Houthi siege. Both parties have reported multiple violations of the ceasefire agreement signed in April. In recent years, the Houthi forces have used an increasingly effective array of weaponry against Saudi Arabia and other adversaries, including cruise missiles and drones similar to those made by Iran. Many of these larger weapons were displayed in a Houthi military parade in late September. According to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, the conflict, which has recently evolved into a regional proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, has killed over 150,000 people, including over 14,500 civilians. The battle has plunged Yemen into one of the world's greatest humanitarian crises, driving it further into poverty and dangerously close to starvation.